battle.
But unfortunately, I was not one of the 67,000 people that won between $400 and $200 on Saturday night's drawing. I didn't hit and Monday was just so busy, so
Right.
caught off guard. I didn't even get a ticket for Monday, and I may or may not have prayed, going, "Don't let anybody win Monday." Just, I know I'm not going to win, but at least let me be in the drawing when you count the winner. So, but yeah, other than that, pretty easy going.
Good. I worked on trying to unpack all the crap that we moved from our office.
Right, from the old one.
From the old side of the office to the new side of the office,
Right.
and so I still got a lot to do, but I think I'm making headway.
Oh, without a doubt.
I failed to launch our No Renter Left Behind, so it'll be by the weekend. I'll have it up and going.
There you go.
Big Daddy's Munchies has been like super duper busy. I've got a new one tonight. It's another one I don't think you're going to guess.
Right. No, because when you see it, it definitely looks a lot like something else. When you handed it, when you showed me the bag, I actually thought it was something else.
Yeah, and honestly, if anybody is young watching this, they may not even know what it is. Period.
Right.
Even after we say the name.
Right.
So, but definitely old memories and things like that.
Well, how many bags did you sell at the farmer's market? Because you didn't get rained out this weekend.
We didn't get rained out. It was a beautiful day. We sold 50 bags.
Nice.
And there's not a lot of traffic at that farmer's market. It seemed like a lot of people, the farmers that are there, they have pre-orders, so people are coming to pick up whatever orders and things like that. But other than that, I mean, 50 bags for not a lot of traffic. We did pretty good.
On your first run.
And if I'd had...
Now people know you're there.
Right. And if I'd had 150 people come through, I wouldn't have had enough stuff anyway.
Right.
So it's just a matter, and we sell a lot, and I think it's a payday thing. We sell a lot through the weekend, first of the week, and then during the middle of the week it slows down. And then I sold a bunch of bags today, so those paychecks have hit.
Right.
And so this weekend we'll sell some. But it's been great. We've been working on some chocolates. They came out. Some of them came out good. Some of them were just kind of like, like Three Musketeers. I'm pretty sure I did it right. It doesn't fluff up. You think that nougat would fluff up, but it didn't fluff up. It was just kind of airy and crunchy.
Right.
Tegan loved the Twix ones because the Twix, I cut them in half, the minis, and then they puff up, and then that little wafer sits on top.
Okay.
So the wafer doesn't do anything, but it sits on top, and so I think they'll be good. The caramel M&Ms I did are wonderful.
Okay.
But I also set them out in the room because you got to let the chocolate reharden.
Right.
And I guess it picked up whatever little bit of moisture it's in that room. And
right.
within a couple hours, they were all just smushy. And I was
Wet.
like, yeah, it's not good. So we got to figure that out. And that's why we haven't rolled a lot of new stuff out, because we want to make sure we get the stuff we have right and consistent and things like that. So, but no, it was a long week for that. And we just kept that machine rolling. We got our candy room all set up.
There you go.
We were moving that over the weekend and got it all set up. So we have a dedicated room for just candy now.
There you go.
So, but other than that, pretty uneventful. I still didn't mow my grass, and it's been probably a month.
Right.
No notices from the county yet, but I hope to get it mowed tomorrow.
Let's hope.
Yeah.
Oh, did the Cowboys come back? From the loss?
I don't even know. I was so busy this weekend I didn't even watch any. I didn't see any football actually.
Right.
So did the Raiders win?
No.
No.
Lost to the Steelers. Yeah.
That was supposed to be a good game. I didn't see the game, but it was supposed to be a good game, and I was hoping I don't like the Steelers.
Me neither. I grew up hating them because the 4 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
That they won in the 70s. Yeah. 3 of those 4 years. Know who they beat in the AFC Championship game?
Raiders.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Bills Cowboys in the 90s.
Right.
At the Super Bowls.
Do you remember the joke back then? Yeah. Hey, man, are you going to watch the Super Bowl this year? Why? The same thing's going to happen. What do you mean the same thing's going to happen? The winner's going to go to Disneyland. The loser's going to go back to Buffalo.
That's right. That's right. We went over to a friend's house, and he's a big Bills fan because they're from Buffalo.
Right.
And so you pull up to his house, and I think it was his mom or dad's house because they were there too. But you pull up, and he had this big banner across the front of the house as a brick ranch, and it had home of the Bills, and you go in, and everything was Bills. By the end of the game, you couldn't even tell he's a Bills fan. He's in different pajamas, different house slippers. There wasn't a Bills cake out. There was no Bills anything. The banner was down. I don't know if he went out at halftime and did all that. Cause,
like that Homer meme where he keeps backing into the bush.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But, yeah. So you talked about Powerball. Nobody's won. It's worth $1.4 billion.
I know.
I just want a little.
Split it. I'm not that greedy.
And then Saturday, 67,454 people won at least between $200 and $4, or
right.
$4 and $200.
Right.
We were a winner, $16. Wasn't enough to.
At the risk of Mary yelling at me, I have not taken our ticket to see if we were one of the 67,000.
Oh, you got your ticket in your wallet?
I do not. It's on
Okay.
it's on my side table in the living room.
Make him ticket right now. See how much you won.
But
We are having trouble streaming. It looks like we are battling YouTube today. Says they're having some kind of streaming problem.
Come on, YouTube, get you some.
Can you guys on YouTube see us? Because it's popped up and said that YouTube is not working right now.
Is anybody on Facebook?
Yeah, I can see Facebook's checked. YouTube saying may have problems. So we're just going to keep on going. And if you can see, you can see. If you can't, hopefully you'll come back and watch the replay.
Let's hope.
I know Mr. Gus, he's famous. He watches all of our replays.
I know. I like
Gus.
Mr. Gus.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we won $16 this weekend. What's it? Saturday is the next drawing for the 1.4.
Yeah.
And it'll probably go up a little bit.
Yeah, it'll probably go up. I know when it said it was gonna be at 1.2, they were guessing that the one-time payout was 551 mil.
Okay, I would take that. Be okay with it because I don't trust the government's going to give me my money later on down.
For 20 years.
Yeah.
I've loved many a friend, many a family member. I don't trust anybody to keep paying me for 26 years.
No, not at all. And the other thing is
and if I win the lottery, I don't expect to live a lifestyle that is going to be commensurate with living another 26 years.
That's true. That's true.
You know?
But I also, she says she's checking on Rex. I don't know if Rex is okay or.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, the government, we already see their credit history. And that's being in an industry where we talk about people's credit. I wouldn't loan the government any of my money.
Yeah, no, me neither.
Wouldn't let them use that money for 20 years.
Nah.
So a lot of accidents this week. And actually, before we even go into that part, I think in the last 3 days, there have been 4 or 5 wrecks on 81.
Yeah.
Slowing traffic. There was one a couple hours ago.
Yep.
Tractor trailer turned over.
And, but you keep hearing in the newspaper that safety board is hearing all kinds of good things about their expansion between 143 and 150, 152.
It looks nice, but I don't think an extra lane is the problem.
Right.
It's the damn people driving is the problem.
Exactly.
So, but traffic accident Saturday night. 2 were injured in a motorcycle. It collided with a van on Elm Avenue exit.
Yeah, the Elm exit on 581 south.
Yep.
Or I guess it's probably 220 south by then.
And then 2 were killed in an accident on 460 Salem Tuesday morning.
Yeah.
The 2 that were killed did not have their seatbelt on. It was like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
Which you still wear your seatbelt.
Well, I know at 7 they were saying, just avoid Main Street.
Yeah, they had shut the Main Street down. So 2 were killed. They didn't have their seatbelt on. The driver that hit them did have her seatbelt on, but she's been charged with a DUI. So, why are you 5 o'clock in the morning drunk?
Oh, I hear you. I hear you.
I mean, you should be asleep by then or passed out somewhere.
Waffle. It doesn't take that long to get served at Waffle House. Go to the bar. They close at 2.
Mm-hmm.
You're at Waffle House by 2:30. Out of there by 4.
Yeah.
Be home.
Well, one night, and it was pre-COVID. It was during Christmas time because we had cut this lady off. She was an older lady, and we cut her off because she was trying to dance with our Christmas tree.
Right.
And just kind of wandering around the bar area. But she was trying to get people together to go watch the sunrise at the Waffle House.
Oh.
And so she got in an Uber
Now
from there to the Waffle House.
Now that's drunk.
So, yeah, she was trying to watch that. So now I guess we got to go out one day and see if the sunrise is different at the Waffle House.
Right.
I know that the Waffle House here at 419, right beside our office, has some nice windows and a nice view of the mountains right there.
Right,
So
yeah.
it may look good.
Yeah, there's the sun coming now, coming up behind Tanglewood.
Yeah, it's never been one of my goals to see the sunrise at the Waffle House.
No,
Should be a country song, too. Maybe we'll get ChatGTP.
I'm sure it is.
Maybe we'll get ChatGTP to write us a country song.
Probably a
about Waffle
Toby
House.
Keith song.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep, and scams and alerts. Don't forget, if you've got a student loan, apparently those payments start back up this month. So
I thought they were forgiven.
Well, that's what I thought.
It's kind of like daylight savings. I thought that was.
Well, and it's one of those
done
things
too.
where I think some of them came back. I've heard, rumor that apparently they just did away with like $9 billion more in student loans, but I don't know
where those
parameters
hit.
Yeah, I'm not sure where that goes to, what it counts as,
Right.
what that does to, the tax burden.
Right.
But yeah, that being said, please go to studentaid.gov to see when what your options are as far as putting them in deferment or what have you. Because there's a lot of people online and on the phone trying to scam. Oh, well, we can, we can accept, 5 cents on the dollar, or
Right.
50 cents on the dollar.
And then just trying to get your money.
But it's got to be a gift, it's got to be a Visa from Walgreens.
Right.
And, call and give me the number on the back of the card.
Yeah. Or your checking account number. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Don't do payments online with that. I mean, over the phone or anything. Don't. Studentaid.gov is where you need to go.
Yeah.
Check your payments and go from there. Evidently, their scammers pretending to be Roanoke City Police too.
Yep, telling you you've got a outstanding warrant, or you've got a failure to appear. So, but yeah, without admitting too much, the cops are not going to call you. I was getting ready to say kill. I apologize.
You did, yeah.
I don't know what kind of.
They don't kill you either.
Yeah, I mean they're not looking
to appear if they're calling you on the phone.
right. They're not going to call you for a debt. If they're looking for you, they'll knock on the door.
They will, and go wherever else you go.
Right.
But and I know that.
Or at work.
A lot of times, and I've over the years, I've seen it quite a few times. There are scammers out there, and also debt collectors out there that'll say, I have a sheriff on their way to your house right now.
Yeah.
It's going to arrest you in front of your family and take you to the court to see the judge right now if you don't pay this bill. Right. They're on their way now. That ain't happening.
Right.
It's a scam.
And I actually had one call me like that a couple years back.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm pretty sure I paid.
Right.
What the hell? Yeah.
And it just, so watch out for the scams. And with Christmas coming up, there are going to be more and more.
More, yeah.
The economy the way it is, more and more. So just, be careful. Nobody needs $15,000 up front for you to get your $250,000 winnings that you never applied to win.
Right.
So
your Lowe's gift card.
Yeah, absolutely. We got a lot of Lynchburg stuff today. Lynchburg woman Ashley Neely was supposed to be at Amherst County Detention when she was shot by police.
There's a lot of police-involved shootings going on in Lynchburg lately.
Yeah, and so evidently, from what we were talking about earlier, is that she was being transferred from one detention center to another, or something like that, and we don't know if she tried to escape or what happened, but she ended up getting shot.
Right. And apparently you got a guy, a New York man, that was arrested because there was an international package in Lynchburg that apparently had drugs in it. You know, it was addressed to him, but it was, what did they call it, diverted or caught in Lynchburg. I love this place.
You just got to have some big kahunas to be like, hey, I'm going to ship you these drugs, you know, whatever.
Right.
I think there was cocaine in there too, but I'm going to ship you this cocaine, and it's coming FedEx.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Maybe you put some chickens, some like chicks, and then you put the cocaine underneath.
Right.
And that way they're like, oh, it's live. It's
right.
I don't know, but that's some big old kahunas that do that.
Oh,
3 women were charged after 2 inmates OD'd.
Where was that?
Lynchburg, I think. Yeah. Lynchburg, y'all hell in the news today.
If you're driving down 460 and you get to Lynchburg, just take a left. Just take a. You don't want to be in Lynchburg right now.
Yeah, not today. But yeah. So and the 3 women I think were inmates also.
Right.
So evidently they were able to get drugs in there, and 2 girls overdosed, and what a mess.
And so if that wasn't enough, Lynchburg police are asking their neighbors for any security footage they may have, you know, with your Ring doorbell or what have you, because their police cruiser took on gunfire. They're not exactly they're not releasing exactly where.
Right.
But if you're one of the neighbors that they're reaching out to, you probably know where.
I was going to say, how do you give them the footage if you don't know where?
Right. You know.
It's like a hide and seek thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, y'all shooting people on the way to detention center, you know.
Good Lord, we lost all of our viewers on that one. They must have lived in Lynchburg.
What now?
I said they must be living in Lynchburg.
Must have.
So, U.S. Marshals are offering, I don't know if you guys remember, a couple weeks ago, there were 3 people shot over off Melrose.
Yeah.
And so the U.S. Marshals are offering a $3,000 reward for info about the homicide. They're still looking for him. And so it's $3,000 reward if you can tell him where he's at.
Okay. If I knew, I'd let you know.
Yep. Some of the community things going on. Pulaski broadband expansion is 6 months ahead of schedule, which is
better.
super awesome.
Yeah.
You never hear the government being ahead of schedule,
Right.
But they're ahead of schedule. And I guess because I live in Roanoke County and I'm not in a rural area, I never really thought about the high-speed part of it and things like that. But where I managed the trailers up in Floyd or in Czech, they didn't have internet.
Speed.
They didn't have any kind. I mean, I think you could get the satellite.
Right.
I don't think it's as fast.
It's
or
not as
anything
fast, and
or
God,
reliable.
it's expensive.
Yeah, and so where more and more people are working from home and streaming and things like that, that's important to have now.
Right.
And especially if you work from home, or my one guy up there streams on YouTube all the time, gaming.
Right.
And he couldn't get the reliable service, so
wow.
now they're putting in high speed in the trailer park.
Okay, good.
Too, but I'm glad to see that some of these rural communities are getting
without
internet
a doubt. Without
the
a
way
doubt.
they need to.
Yeah. Yep. Bath County has broken ground on a new daycare facility.
Okay.
I'm not. I'm gonna guess it's a county-led thing, like a
Probably
Head
a Head Start something.
kind of thing. Because otherwise, I'm not sure why it would make a headline, but it never did say
Right.
that it was a Head Start. So I didn't want to put down there that that's what it was.
Right,
It was just a guess.
Yeah. And that'll do. Hopefully, it'll do well. And I think that if it is a Head Start. My brother went to Head Start as a kid,
Okay.
and he did great. I mean, and plus he loved to learn. So as I learned, I was like kindergarten, first grade or whatever. But as I learned, he learned. You know, he's like, hey, how do you do? You know,
Right.
But I think Head Start was a great place for him to get started as far as preschool and things like that.
Gotcha.
If that's exactly what it is.
Right.
Hotel Roanoke is exploring expanding. That's a lot of E words. The conference center and including a possible rooftop bar.
Oh, wow.
What are your thoughts on that? I think that it would have a great view.
I
of
think
the
that
city.
would be an insane rooftop
Mhm.
for a bar, for a rooftop bar.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness, that would be a whole different. I don't care what they charged. That your first time up there,
Mhm.
I think it'd be worth every
Be
penny.
a good experience. And I know the conference center does a lot of business, and
Yeah.
and this season, hopefully, we'll get out there and get some pictures and video of the Christmas trees and stuff that they do. But yeah, I think that's a great idea. Lots. I know that like Center in the Square did the rooftop thing, and there are
Right.
several different bars and restaurants downtown that are doing
That are doing the rooftop.
rooftop part of it. So I think that's a great way to utilize that space.
Oh yeah, especially in the summer, in the fall,
Mhm.
maybe the spring.
Yep.
You're not catching me on the rooftop anywhere in the winter.
No, not even with just a tent part on it.
Right,
We're staying in there.
No, I'm good. I'm gonna stay in the climate control in the winter.
That's right.
So.
Yeah, my bones hurt in the winter time.
No doubt, no doubt. But the Fishburne Mansion gets funding to guide restoration. You know,
I think they'd asked for, I think it's like 3 or 4 million,
right?
to do the restoration to the Fishburne Mansion. So hopefully they'll turn it into something. I don't know what it's doing now. Yeah.
I've actually not been there, so I don't know.
So hopefully,
I think I've seen it, but I don't know what it's doing.
Right.
You know?
Lewis Gale whooped up on Carilion.
Yeah,
this
they
week.
did. Yeah, they did.
10-3. They did a fundraiser. It was after one of the Salem Red Sox games, or it was at least at that field.
Right.
It was a fundraiser, and yeah, Lewis Gale.
Whooped them.
Yeah, 10-3.
Spanked them.
Yeah, but
Because Carilion was actually looking forward to it because they said that the last time they did it before COVID, Lewis Gale whooped up on them.
that Salem thing.
I Carilion, y'all need a softball coach.
Yeah, you're there. They just need to recruit better.
Yeah.
Be like, yeah, we watched your
Yeah, maybe
your
third shift isn't for the
Right.
isn't where your athletes
I'd
are.
be like, yeah, well, we watched your performance in the last game. I think we're gonna pass.
Right.
You're not gonna be able to play this year.
Yeah. But Pulaski County Middle School volleyball and football game were postponed because of online threats this weekend.
Mm-hmm. And then they actually canceled school today too. Canceled the
Okay.
middle school because of some online threats to
Okay.
it. So they just wiped it all out.
Well.
You know, you can't be too safe, I don't think. Especially in this world.
I'm kind of torn. We grew up in a time where you don't cancel anything because of a threat,
Mhm.
you know. But I get it, especially in today's age, you know. And parents just aren't going to stand for you putting their kids in any kind of danger when you've gotten a threat.
Well, it's a liability too, because if you got the threat and then you didn't do anything about it, and then something does happen, then
right.
school system's up for to be
Couple
sued.
$1 million.
Yeah, they're going to be sued because they knew about the threat and didn't do anything. So I think it's best. But then, what happens if there's a threat again tomorrow?
Exactly.
Do you continue? Or,
Well, I mean, if you find out it works,
yeah,
and get you out of that,
somebody probably had a test.
AP geometry,
Yep. Somebody probably had a test, and that's what they were doing. Google Doodle celebrated Monday the McAfee's Knob.
Yep.
And so they showcased McAfee's Knob, and his Roanoke is the number 2 place to hike
Yep, in America.
And that's
that?
one of the views, and that's one of the top hikes of the Appalachian Trail.
Right.
Is McAfee's Knob, especially if you've ever been there in the fall time. It's
Oh, yeah.
gorgeous. Yeah, the colors go forever.
Oh, wow. Well, fall's coming. Maybe we'll have to hit it.
That's right. All breathing heavy. We'll have
Right.
to, no microphones on the way up or back. Yeah. No microphones. But we'll get some good footage.
Yeah.
Dollywood express train derailed this week.
Yeah, I think Tuesday.
Yeah. I don't think anybody was hurt, though.
They
it
said
just
that
derailed.
everybody was evacuated or, taken off the train. But I mean, that's just a beautiful train if you've never been on it. Oh my God.
I've never been to
great.
Dollywood.
Really?
Yep. I want to go.
I've
but
only
never
been the once.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it similar to a Busch Gardens or is it similar to a King's Dominion?
More Busch Gardens.
Or a
it's
Carilions? Have you been to Carilions?
I have.
Okay.
And it's much more of a Busch Gardens
Okay.
type thing. It's a lot more shows than it is rides. And
See,
stuff
I
like
enjoy Busch Gardens. It's not as people-y. You go to King's Dominion. I love King's Dominion's roller coasters and stuff, but a lot of times you're elbow to elbow with people. Now, I don't
Right.
know if that's changed. I haven't been there in years and years, but
Well, we've got 8 grandkids.
Mhm.
And with the extended family, if we're going to King's Dominion, there's 35 people going.
right.
So
you're already elbow to elbow
so
before
we
you get in
probably
there.
need to go to King's Dominion. There's more kid rides
Right.
there. Da 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 da. Mary and I had our druthers. We'd go to Busch Gardens.
Right.
The wine tastings are better. The shows are better. For the most part, there's more good food at Busch Gardens than there is at King's Dominion. There's plenty of food there.
Okay.
Oh, but King's Dominion has opened up this new barbecue joint.
hmm
Yeah, that's the place to go.
Is it?
Oh yeah.
I love
That,
barbecue.
that is my new favorite eating place at King's Dominion.
Okay. That's cool. Yeah, I haven't been there. I think the kids were young. Yeah, they were young because my son and his troubled friend that, ate that pound of chocolate.
Right.
Well, he went to King's Dominion with us too. And it was one of those things, he didn't eat anything all day. Then he felt sick. And somebody had to go sit in the car with him while he was feeling sick. And
Right.
I don't know
That
why we
friend.
kept taking that friend. He's a nice guy.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know why. But talking to Busch Gardens, they're shutting down the Loch Ness Monster.
Their signature
Yep.
ride.
And going to remodel it. It hadn't been remodeled, what did they say, 28 years or something? Maybe
Probably.
longer than that.
Probably longer. Yeah. Because I think it opened in 78, 75, somewhere in there.
Probably 75-ish. Because I remember going.
Or
and I
was it 72? Was it the year I was born?
I'll tell you what, we got internet here. Let's
That's
check
right.
it.
But because I'm pretty sure it opened the year I was born. I've been wrong before. I mean, that thing has been the signature because it's just always been the ride. It's been the double loop ride, and it's shortly after you get in the front gate.
Okay.
Now,
19,
when-
you were right the first time.
78?
78.
Okay.
Yep, 1978's 46 years old. I remember when I went, I was young, so I was probably about 8. And my aunts and uncles came in from Massachusetts,
Okay.
and so they took us. We were poor; we couldn't afford that.
Right.
So they took me, and I remember them getting me, and I look back at them like, oh my God, that's hideous. They bought me a Loch Ness Monster tank top and shorts, and the shorts were like short, and the tank top was green with like dark green piping around the.
Oh, wow.
It was awful. So all the cousins got the same little outfits.
Oh, yeah.
and
Oh, yeah.
it was
Don't laugh.
awful.
That was the thing you did in the early 80s. Leave
That's
us
right.
alone.
It was awful, but they're remodeling it and I guess upgrading it. And I know.
Well, I'm just glad they're redoing it because, I mean, they've closed a couple of, not necessarily namesakes, but, I mean, some of the just what they were known for, like the Big Bad Wolf
I love that
and
ride.
the Log Flume, I
Yep.
think they took out, so I'm glad to hear that they're just re-upping it, redoing it, not getting rid of it.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I think they would. They're known for that. And so-
Exactly.
but I can remember my youngest son Gunnar going, and he was probably 6, And I talked them into riding. I'm like, it's a smooth roller coaster. Nothing's going to happen. I'll be danged. Right before we hit that loop, the coaster stopped.
Oh,
dude,
of course it did.
I look over and dude's face, he had like sweat drips on his nose and he was just as green as could be. And I'm like, are you gotta be kidding me? And so he made it through it, but I don't know that he rode any other roller coasters.
Well, you know, and it's one of those, at least it was right before the loop, because the worst part of the Loch Ness Monster for me, and it's because of the Loch Ness Monster that it took my, it took my dad probably 25 minutes to convince me to get on the Rebel Yell at King's Dominion the first time we went. He's like, man, you're going to love it. Da, la, 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 la. But it's that original go around the corner, and I swear it feels like it takes you 15 minutes to get to the top of the first drop of the Loch Ness Monster. I mean, that is just the slowest I've ever moved in my life.
You're like, tick, 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 tick.
Tick,
See,
tick,
I
tick.
love that intensity. I love roller coasters, period.
Right.
And I always have, but I guess thinking back now, Gunnar was about 6 when I broke him. You know, he didn't ride roller coasters for a long time. I think he likes them now. But then when we went to Disney, our first ride that we rode was at Hollywood Studios, and we rode the Tower of Terror with Tegan.
Nice.
She was about 6.
Right.
Broke her. She didn't ride anything else that whole trip, and we were there for over, I think, 10 days, and she didn't ride any. She rode the merry-go-round or the carousel at Magic Kingdom was it. And to this day, she'll ride Seven Dwarfs Mine Train every once in a while, but most of it she won't ride roller coasters anymore. She's done. She's like, nope, I'm good.
And I actually usually like the first dip, which is usually the hardest dip of any roller coaster. But it's the getting to the top, because there's just always this thing in my head. I don't know if it's from doing construction, if it's just thoughts that were put in my head when I was raised, but the slowest part is taking you to the utmost height of this ride, so you got all that time to go, this thing was built by the lowest bidder.
That's right.
You know,
but it's not as bad as some of those fair rides that you're like, this thing was put together in 3 days. I know those things are, you know, I know they inspect them and all that other stuff, but it's still, it's a mental game.
Oh yeah.
It's like, oh my God.
You know, the Ferris wheel. You've seen that one movie where the Ferris wheel just goes down the street.
Yeah.
This is going to be my ride, because it's going to break. You know, you talk about breaking the kids. This is what's going to break Layla. God, stop.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. The Today Show featured Roanoke as a fun weekend getaway.
I know, on Saturday.
So what's
Does anybody watch the Today Show? Did anybody see that? I did not see that.
I don't even have local TV anymore.
Right.
If it's not on on Netflix or something, I'm not watching.
Right.
I stopped watching news a long time ago.
Yeah, I try to, but I'm an old white guy. It's just kind of on in the background because it's supposed to be on news in the morning.
Right, absolutely.
What I grew up with, you know. But I think I brought it up last week when we were at King's Dominion the weekend before. They had the state fair also.
Okay.
And that's where...
Did they have it at King's Dominion?
No, but in the same town. About
okay.
King's Dominion, he's here,
and
the state fair was about 2 miles down the same road. But they had little trading cards, agricultural superheroes.
Okay.
You know, and I didn't get to the state fair, so I had to find out about this when I got back.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't even know Virginia had a state fair. I mean, I know West Virginia's got a state fair. And they play commercials here. Not one commercial for the Virginia State Fair.
Oh, yeah, I hear you. And, you know, the last 2 years, we've been no more than 1.5 miles, 2 miles away from the state fair. I still don't know where the state fairgrounds are, nor have I ever been to the state fair. But those 5 people, I do know one of them.
Let's see. I think your mic is out. Let's try.
Is that a little bit?
It is.
How's Rex? She said she was checking on him.
She did. Let's see here. Talk.
How's Rex doing?
Is that better? Better. Rex is not moving.
Okay.
You need to go?
I'll be home right after this. We're a fair bit ways through. Has anybody tried to give him a pepperoni?
Oh, I like pepperonis.
Right.
My brother Jamie and I, one time we were at a party in high school and we ate dog biscuits because we were dared.
Right.
I also streaked through a couple parties because I was dared.
Uh-oh.
I'm too old now.
Oh, I hate it.
Can't move fast enough through there.
But your 5 trading cards, you have or 5 of them in this general area. You have Cam Terry Garden, who runs Variety Harvest. I'm pretty sure I've seen banners for them.
Okay.
Now Brent Craighead, he drives a truck for Homestead Creamery when they were still delivering to the house.
Okay.
And we were having it delivered. That was our delivery guy.
Oh, that's awesome.
Great guy, amazing family. I don't have enough good things to say about him.
She said, chill. Yes, he's eating pepperonis.
Okay.
Tell him to save me some. Oh, speaking of pepperonis, Selena's been into like cheese and pepperoni lately.
Okay.
And so she has me melt the cheese and roll it up, and it's kind of like a keto-ish snack. And so last night, or a couple nights ago, I made her some again, and it's just detailed. And she's like, well, how are yours so good? I was like, you have to have patience.
Right.
And she's like, what? And I said, yeah. I said, this is the process.
Right.
I take the cheese, split it in half, put it in the oven, I let it get bubbly, and then I take it out. I let it rest for a minute or two, then I put the pepperoni on it. Then I put it back in the oven.
Right.
I let the pepperoni get a little warm, then I pull it out.
Right.
And the cheese is bubbling again. I let it sit for a second, stop bubbling. Then I dab off all the grease.
Right.
And then I roll it up, put it back in the oven. And she's like, oh. I said, that's why I told you. It's a little detail for me to be trying to make it 11 o'clock at night.
Right.
So, but yeah.
This is not a one-step program.
It's not. But going back to Homestead Creamery, truck driver is one of them.
Yep. Got Robert Mills, who is a farmer in Pittsylvania County.
Okay.
Amy Johnson, her family owns a farm out in Bedford County. And Candace Monahan, who is the founder of the Beaver Dam Sunflower Festival.
Awesome.
They all got their own little trading card, and I think I've still got Brent's number. I may call him and see
if you can get one of his
see
cards.
if I can scarf up one of his trading cards.
Well, I went online to see if I could find the cards, and I couldn't. I found like silhouettes of some that
Right.
weren't, I couldn't like download them and share them. But I did go on and try to find them.
Okay.
But so now that I know there's a state fair, maybe I'll try to make that next year.
Okay. It is right. It's always right around Ronnie Hugert's birthday.
Okay.
So we'll try. I'll try and get a better heads up of when the state fair is coming next year.
I have all these plans, but they never work out because
Right.
I have all these other
Well,
plans.
and then all the day-to-day plans start happening, and none of the stuff you had planned a month ago.
I know when I was walking to my car tonight, my grass is going, hey, psst, hey, you forgotten about us? Psst, psst. I mean, I've got tomatoes still on the vine. I've got it's just a late harvest this year, but I've got good cherry tomatoes and stuff. I haven't even picked them yet.
Right.
So every morning, and my wife told me as I was leaving, every morning as I go out to go to work or go wherever, I pick 4 or 5 of them and eat them on the way to the car. And then when she came home tonight so I could come here, she's like, we have tomatoes here. Nobody's eating them. I said, no, I eat them in the morning. She goes, I do too. And she goes, I eat a couple when I get home at night too. So
good.
we just eat no snack tomatoes, and
There
they're
you go.
still on the vine.
I like it.
So,
I like it.
Henrietta Lacks statue made a debut in Roanoke.
Okay.
She had, and so they put her statue up where the Robert E. Lee statue was.
Okay.
In downtown Roanoke, and she was born here.
Okay.
She left here when she was about 3 years old or so. So she didn't live, she was just
Didn't
born in
grow up
Roanoke.
here.
Yeah, she was just born in Roanoke. I think she lived most of her life in Maryland, but she had some type of cancer, and the doctors took part of the cells of her tumor or something and studied it, didn't tell her about it, and actually they didn't even know whose cells they were because they were able to regenerate those cells, and they're supposed to be like forever cells where they don't die or whatever.
Oh, wow.
And so they use a lot of that stuff that they found from her for cancer and for HIV and things like that. A lot of those studies came off of that. And so her family, I think she had already passed. She had 5 kids. She passed when she was about 51, but she had already passed away when they found out whose cells they were and stuff like that.
Oh,
so,
wow. Okay.
She's kind of like, not the founder of medicine, but they have made a lot of medical breakthroughs because of
her cells, her
yeah.
blood cells.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Nice.
that's kind of amazing. My first thought is she's not really from Roanoke, but she was born here.
Well, she's from. She just didn't grow up here.
Yeah. So, but that's kind of cool, and it fills up that space, and
Well, I agree.
So
apparently the DOD has granted Virginia Tech a $10 million grant, and they're going to start, I forget when the groundbreaking's supposed to be. I'm pretty sure it was in the article. I just wasn't as concerned. I'm not as big a Virginia Tech fan or happy when they get money as everybody else in the area.
Right.
But it's supposed to be for cybersecurity and that kind of thing. They're going to have a real high-tech facility out in Tech.
Okay.
For it. I think it's in communion or in connection with Penn State.
Okay.
Apparently they're working on it too.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I feel like Tech is kind of like Carilion. In the Blacksburg area, they just keep expanding and expanding. And it's all good stuff.
Right.
My son actually did a, what do they call it? It was a walkthrough or whatever when he was looking at colleges. Because he was looking at going into computer engineering.
Right.
And so we went through Tech and they talked
an orientation.
about, yeah. And then we did Tech and VCU and a couple other places. And he went on a wait list at Tech and then ended up at VCU.
Okay.
And he was in their computer engineering program, and then he decided to take one of the computer classes at Joke, and he got a C.
Right.
Yeah. Then he studied physics because it didn't work out so well.
Physics doesn't change.
But it's kind of being young. I mean, I look at it now, and I'm like, how do you decide what you want to do for the rest of your life at 19 years old or 18?
Yeah.
I want to be this for the rest of my life. And I'm like, oh,
And at the risk of any parents about to show up at my house and whoop me, you don't have to have everything figured out at 18 or 30. If you're going to screw up, do it right out of high school. Your parents are going to love you anyway.
Yeah, you just have to work and pay your way.
Exactly.
I don't care what you do. Just work, pay your way, and become, be a member of society that's productive.
Exactly.
I think, and so I don't know, but I just don't. I never would have thought that I would have been in real estate. I hated math. I hated, and then I'm in real estate and wouldn't change it for the world. Now I'm kind of looking like Willy Wonka.
Right.
Told my wife.
You know what's hilarious? As you're losing the weight is when you get into the candy business.
Right.
How does that happen?
Well, that was
apparently there's a connection to it because how skinny was Willy Wonka in that movie?
He was. He was super skinny. Even both of those Willy Wonkas, he was skinny. I'll probably have more of a sense of humor like Johnny Depp.
Right.
Than I do.
Actually.
Yeah. So, but and I told Selena last night, I remember in 8th grade, I was kind of smart ass and I didn't apply myself and, I just didn't care. But we had a book report due, and so I did the book report on Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory
Okay.
in 8th grade. So my teacher's like, Rob, no more of this. It's your reading level's way above this.
Right.
And I was like, okay. So the next book report, I did it on The Great Glass Elevator, which is the second book of Willy Wonka, Chocolate Factory. And so I told Selena last night, I said, if the candy business really takes off, I got to give credit to Miss Bird. Because, down deep, I just knew I was going to end up being Willy Wonka.
Right. So, I know you think my reading level is above this. I was doing research.
Yeah. That's all I got to say about that. On air. We'll talk about the other parts at the water cooler, two old men.
Right.
So, had to reach out this morning or this afternoon on Facebook. Guy posted, wanted to know what restaurants were hiring, and everybody.
Everybody, to the best of my knowledge.
Yeah, all restaurants are hiring. Everybody. I don't know anyone's not hiring.
Right.
I mean, as far law enforcement's hiring if you want to be a police officer.
Right.
They're hiring firemen. They're hiring, everybody's hiring. So if there's a career out there that you want,
right,
go get it.
Well, I do know that Roanoke, I believe, County just graduated a new group of firemen.
Mm-hmm. They did. But yeah, so everybody's hiring. It's just a matter of finding something you'd like to do.
Exactly.
And know that you're not going to start at top dollar to begin with.
Right.
You're going to start at the entry level, and you move, and you don't like where you're at, then go somewhere else.
That's right.
There's just a million jobs out there, and
very few people make what they think they're worth.
Right.
So just understand that going in.
And then on that note, as far as so many people hiring, there's so many things going on this weekend.
Yeah.
To the point to where I tried to put it all, a lot of it in here, and the ticker, I ran out of space.
Oh, wow.
It's like, yeah, now you've reached a limit.
Go fish.
So we got First Friday's season finale. The Works are playing.
Okay.
And they're pretty entertaining.
And they usually bring a crowd.
Yeah, they do. They have their little groupies and stuff like that.
Right.
Center in the Square's got the Blue Ridge Nightmares.
Okay. Gotcha. Craftsman Fall Classic Art and Craft Festival at the Berglund Center this weekend.
That's always a fun event to go see.
Mary and I love that.
Mary
and I usually love that. But we may skip it this year because it always turns expensive.
It does. and if you're one of those crafty people, it gives you great ideas when you go out there. You're like, oh, I can do that.
But I will say, if you're at all interested, go check it out. There's usually a group on the far end from the entrance, about 2 rows down. Best dips, best soups.
Oh, they have the little dry goods things?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, those people are just on a different level with their dips and their...
That's where we want to be with our freeze-dried stuff.
There you go.
I mean, eventually our goal is, and it'll be a while down, but we would like to do like soups and prepared meals in mason jars.
Right.
And go around and give it to the elderly, the people that may or may not have food to eat.
Right.
And that way, if, Meals on Wheels can't make it that day or whatever, they have something healthy to eat instead of eating just junk or not eating at all.
Gotcha.
So it'll come with a scoop, and they can scoop out however much they need. And so that's down the road, though.
Right. Did Gus stay with us?
I just see one person, so I'm not sure if he did or not.
Gotcha.
And I don't know that this is right or wrong as far as it giving us how many people are watching. So.
Right.
But I don't see Gus on here. A little bit still here. That's
gotcha.
Ghost Walk. It's a Salem museum through, I think, the 8th, which is pretty cool. And they're just talk about it's kind of like the.
Is that the one where that goes through that? That also goes through that little cemetery
across the street. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. I used to have a friend in high school that lived in that house next door to it, and she swears the house is haunted, which I believe that.
Right. Well, apparently the Grandin Theater is playing the new Exorcist Believer this weekend.
Yep. And then Haunted History, a lantern tour of the Natural Bridge. That would be cool.
I would probably love to check that out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
awesome.
I
It's that
got-
time thing, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I want to do it, and I'm like, oh man, it's past my bedtime. And
Well,
if
and
I
I
drive
gotta
all the
get
way
three, I gotta
up,
get
and
3 kids back from Natural Bridge.
the excuses
Yeah.
work every time for us.
Yeah. So, but you got the Hollins Theater producing Good Night Moon, the magical musical.
And then the Showtimers got Something Rotten.
Okay. I actually saw some billboards for this. Where is Terror Manor 2023? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
Oh,
call
no,
it
no. We got internet here. Terror Manor.
About time.
I know.
Okay, did we send Kelly to the
We
house?
did.
All right.
It's on Norfolk Avenue.
Okay, that's right. That's
Yep.
right.
And it's actually Terror Manor is the name of the place. But it's on Norfolk Avenue in downtown Roanoke. And starts at 7:30, Friday, Saturdays. And then it goes all the way through November 4th. 7:30 to 11, 7:30 to 12. And then they have some kind of not all Santas and Cupids, some kind of winter horror thing going on for Christmas too.
Okay.
So I've heard a
Jonathan
lot of
might
good
be good.
things, but I haven't been there.
Right.
Yeah,
I've had young grandkids since I've been here, so.
and they won't like that. That'll scare them. You'll break them just like I
Right.
break mine.
Right.
Sinkland Farms 32nd annual Pumpkin Festival, and they got that new pumpkin chucker.
Yeah, that's what you were
Maybe.
talking about. Yeah.
Pumpkin chucker.
Pumpkin gun. Oh yeah, I'm in.
Yeah, it's a new catapult they got this year. So that's pretty cool.
Got the trick or treat with the parakeets at the Science Museum of Western Virginia.
Kind of makes me think of the place we went in Lynchburg where they had the parakeets in that mall.
Right, that aquarium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool. But yeah, I wonder if you're just giving them treats and that's what it is, or
Right.
anybody trying to walk out with a parakeet. Trick or treat with Mountain Magic and Fall Bluegrass Antiques Crafts Festival. Oh, we're getting these festivals now.
Oh, yeah.
So you got the
All the
Bluegrass
fall
Antique
festivals.
Craft Festival, Buchanan downtown, Buchanan.
You got the Roanoke Beer and Wine Festival at Elmwood Park.
That's this weekend, and they also have the Vinton Fall Festival in downtown Vinton.
You don't say. Got the 45th annual Boone's Mill Apple Festival in the town of Boone's Mill. It'll be hard to miss.
Yeah, I love
Just hit 220 South and go.
I love apple butter.
So does Mom, and I like it, but I've got to be in the mood for it.
See?
It's really a fall thing for
Right,
me.
it is a fall thing, but I like it, and I make it every year.
But kind of like eggnog.
Mhm.
It's a good thing they don't put it on the shelf the rest of the year, because I might even get rid of chocolate milk if they had eggnog year round.
I love eggnog, but I like eggnog even with just a little bit of alcohol in it. But I remember I was probably 18, 19, and my mom made Jamie and I eggnog. And it's
Okay.
like, here, I spiked it for you and everything. It had Captain Morgan in it, and it was probably a 16-ounce glass. Half Captain Morgan, half eggnog. Ugh.
How old were
It
you?
was not good. I was like 18 or 19. She's like, it's Christmas here, try this. And I'm like, okay. Oh, ooh.
I just never did like eggnog with the alcohol.
Yeah. I mean, I like a little
got,
bit, but I can
got
drink it
nothing
straight up.
against alcohol.
Right.
I just leave my eggnog alone.
Yeah, I prefer to have it straight up.
Yeah.
And then when McDonald's used to have the eggnog milkshakes.
Okay, I never had one.
Oh, they were good.
Oh yeah.
You would have liked it. Yep.
Oh, I bet so.
Super good. Then you got Halloween Murder Mystery at the Big Lick Brewing Company. And
Awesome.
then
The Jeter Farm Fall Festival and Country Store.
another festival. And then you got Mingle at the Market with Gypsy Nicks and Shattered Glass at the Vinton Farmers
Gypsy
Market.
Nicks, is that a Fleetwood Mac or a Stevie Nicks? It sounds like a Stevie Nicks.
Probably sounds like a Stevie Nicks. I've never heard of them, but it sounds kind of like them.
Yeah. You got the night hike at Explore Park.
That would be cool. I wonder where you're hiking
would
to.
be. I don't know.
It's kind of weird, but
Well, probably hiking the trail
Right.
through where they're setting up the
the
illumination.
Christmas, yeah, the Christmas stuff.
You know?
And then last but not least for the weekend, we've got Randy Howell, or not last, there's like 42 other things, but
Right.
Randy
The
Howell.
last one we covering.
Randy Hauser at the Dr. Pepper Park,
Okay.
which I've never heard of Randy Hauser, but Dr. Pepper Park's been crushing it all
It
season.
really has. It really has.
I mean, there's been everybody there.
I'd love to see their spreadsheet.
Oh, so this was announced this week. Bob Dylan coming to the
Yeah,
to the
down
Berglund
to the
Center.
Berglund Center.
Berglund Center been hearing us talk crap about it. Is what that is. But what's so sad though is like you read the headline on Roanoke Times and even Channel 10. They're like Bob Dylan's coming and early in his history he had some top hits or whatever.
Right.
Trying to explain who the hell he was. I'm like, man, if you don't know who Bob Dylan is, then
Just don't go.
yeah, why? But then I think about like when Paul McCartney did whatever with, it was either Jay-Z or one of the
I think it was with Kanye.
Kanye. But all of Kanye's fans were going, oh, Kanye put Paul McCartney on the map.
Right.
This dude,
yeah.
I'm
Man,
like,
he
really?
is so good. He's trying to give this old white guy a start in music. Yeah. This dude has had more number ones and you know, he's got more bands in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. But I've got a feeling that's how I felt when I was reading the headline. I'm like, everybody should know who Bob Dylan is.
Right.
But they probably don't.
Right. And on the way in, you keep saying we got internet. They were saying somebody passed.
While you're looking that up, we're going to talk about today's thing. So our crunchy thing of the week is this. I don't know if you can see it or not. Kind of looks like a log.
It does. When you first brought it in, I was like, what in the world? That kind of looks like a churro.
It kind of does. So, anybody got a guess of what it is while we crunch into it? It's kind of flaky too.
It really is.
And I think it's just because it's been freeze dried. Got kind of a peanut butter hint to it. Bueller. Anybody? Bueller. Bueller.
I don't know why I'm checking Google. It's going
Those
to be on
chiclet
Facebook
things.
somewhere. No, chiclet's a gum, isn't it?
G. Norris said, "What are we eating?"
If you guess,
She said, "I can't remember the name. I think she knows what it is." I kind of think she does.
I think she does.
So each week, G. Norris is Gunner.
Is it?
Yeah. So each
Okay.
week, Gunner, we try something we try something that's been freeze dried and have people try to guess of what it is. And I think this week Mary got it.
I think
So it's that peanut butter crunch thing.
Yeah.
I think we got a winner this week.
All right. Chico stick.
Yeah. The Chico sticks are, is that what they're called? Yeah. Yeah, Chico sticks.
Yep.
Yep, I think Mary got this one.
All righty. I'll bring you a $25 gift card home.
He's going to need it for the dentist after I've given him all this sugar.
No, I'm just waiting for them to fall out.
Mm.
But apparently that's so that singer death was just on the news. I can't find it as Facebook official yet, so
Okay.
he may not actually be dead.
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's been a lot of people that have died recently that I thought was already like Bob
Bob
Barker.
Barker, I thought he died 10 years ago.
Yeah, me too.
I thought that's why Drew Carey took over the Price is
Right.
Right.
No,
You know, because Bob was on his deathbed.
this is weird, and I'll bring it in next week. Hopefully, she won't mind. My mother-in-law was actually on The Price is Right
Oh, really?
when she was super young. So next week, I'll bring the picture of her being on The Price is Right.
Okay.
But yeah, she was actually on The Price is Right.
Did she win?
I think she was in the showcase.
Nice.
Yeah, I think I'll ask her the information on it. But
Okay.
yeah, I think she was in the showcase. And Gunnar said, I also thought Bob Barker died quite a while ago. 100%. I mean,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I thought he was dead.
Damn, that's a. Because I mean, I apologize because I don't know how many people they've come across going passed away today. Oh, that's sad.
Yeah. I already mourned that loss.
Right.
I already thought he was dead.
I'm already over this one 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, any plans for the weekend?
I don't know.
Mary, any plans for the weekend?
Mary's been on
She's got a lot
an
going on at work.
ungodly level of busy and irritation and all that stuff. So we'll play it by ear what she wants to do. I think we're going to try and work on the shed this weekend. We may try to work on a couple other things. But it's been a while since we actually got the kids anywhere other than King's Dominion. We may just take them to the Bergman Center. It's free to get in, or like a thing of
We got a cold front coming
canned
through.
food.
It's the high is only 63 on Saturday.
Okay, cool.
That's a good day to be outside and working in the yard too. That's Mary said y'all cleaning the house.
No, I'm sorry.
Is that getting rid of people or things or what? Cleaning house can mean a couple different things. So
So if I knock on your door on Saturday,
oh, then cool. I've got this new blow up mattress thing.
okay.
Yeah, we ordered a bunch of stuff for the candy business, but we ordered from Uline, which services a bunch of different industries.
Yeah.
But we got these our bags from there that we put our candy in, and shipping, you have to pay for shipping,
Okay.
which is okay. It just, it is what it is.
It's not Amazon.
But
so.
but it's weird because we had to pay for shipping. Then at the end of the order, somebody's like, "Hey, we won. We won. With our order, we get some free stuff." And so it was like a magic blender, one of the magic bullets, and it was like like a portable stove and all kinds of little weird stuff. And then one of them was like a mattress, blow up mattress for camping
Okay.
or whatever. And I was like, that's just random. Why not just give me free shipping?
Right.
Hey, you spent enough. I mean, we were over 1,000. We spent enough. Why can't we get free shipping? I don't really want that mattress or a magic bullet.
Right.
Yeah. So we picked the mattress, and it's just random as hell. It's like, okay, let's get that mattress. This weekend I'll be mowing grass, hopefully.
Let's hope.
My grass is like, hey, hey, Big Daddy, you want to mow me? And then we'll be up at the farmer's market.
The grass up at the front window, watching you doing
Yeah.
freeze drying.
Knocked on the window going, hey, can we watch something else? We don't like this show. But so mowing the grass, and then Saturday, Tegan and I will be up at the South County Farmers Market
Okay.
from 9 to 12. We will have the rainbow chips, or we're actually teetering between calling them that still, or it kind of looked like bacon the other day when we were breaking it up. So
Right.
we may call it rainbow bacon, or somebody said unicorn bacon.
Right.
So we'll have hopefully plenty of that. We may have chocolates there. I think we'll have Charleston Chews, and then maybe one other chocolate thing.
Now, Mary and I grabbed something the other day. And it's not completely hard on the inside. It's kind of chewy on the inside. Do you think y'all would be able to do the green caramel apple Werther's Originals?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can do those. They have to be preheated in the oven, and then I have to
Gotcha.
carry them down. Gunner said, spend $6,000, get a toaster oven. That's exactly right, 100%. But it was just random. She's like, okay, we get a free item, and I'm like, okay, what is? And she named all these items, and I'm like, I guess.
Speaking of The Price is Right.
yeah, it's awful. I just give me free shipping.
Right.
Just ship my stuff for free. And what's sad though is we ordered the wrong thing. We had to pay to ship it back, and now we have to pay shipping to get it back here. The right thing.
Killing me.
Yeah. So I mean, we probably spent $150 on shipping, which is awful.
The same stuff.
But our new bags are going to be the bomb.
Nice.
Our old bags are white and then have a window about this big that you can see the candy. Well, we have, fingers crossed, we have some Halloween things coming out. They're not going to be the same price. But our new bags have the front is just a clear window.
Okay.
And
The
I
whole
mean,
thing.
it'll have our sticker on it, our
Right.
logo on it. But it's a clear window, so you'll be able to see more. So one of our Halloween things is the candy corn with probably some different mixed candy, hot fall candy in there, and then we freeze dried Peeps.
Oh, wow.
And so we have we're gonna put Peeps in the bag, and then we also freeze dried some eyeballs.
I need to go ahead and put in an order for some Peeps.
We freeze dried these gummy eyeballs with fruit roll-ups.
Oh, wow.
And so they're
Okay.
creepy looking, and so we'll probably put a couple in bags like that too
Okay.
for our Halloween. But they'll be a little more expensive because the stuff's more expensive.
Right.
We're definitely. I was looking today at Five and Below has the Skittles. They have the Skittles and the gummy bears, the crunchy, the freeze dried bears, and they're selling 2 ounces for $5 on markdown. Where we're doing 4.5 ounces for $6, and if you buy 4 bags, it's only $20.
Right.
But yeah, so we are hopefully rolling out our Halloween stuff this weekend. If not,
Oh,
it'll
good.
definitely be next week. And so just a lot going
Well,
on.
congratulations.
And we'll roll out that no renter left behind thing too, because
Awesome.
I don't know if people noticed or not, the rent has now surpassed what you can buy a house for.
Yep.
So there are places that aren't so safe and so nice that the rent's $1,600, $1,700, $1,800 a month.
Yep.
So it's time if you want to buy, even though the rates, and if you buy now and the rates drop, you can always refinance.
Right.
But
Right.
at the end of the day, when you pay rent, you're paying 100% interest.
Exactly.
You're paying that landlord's mortgage.
You're paying the mortgage.
Yeah.
Do you want the equity or not?
Yeah, and so that's definitely. Gunner has a freeze dried hot tamales. They do not work because they have cornstarch. It's a modified cornstarch in it.
Oh, okay.
And so they don't work, but Red Hots work.
Really?
So the Red Hots, it's one of those things I've got to heat up a little bit in the oven,
Right.
and then run it down to the trays the trays for the freeze dryer. You void your warranty if you use those trays in the oven. So I have to have a different tray,
Right.
transport it over to, and so what you do is you leave your empty trays in there,
Right.
in the freeze dryer heating while this is heating, and then so we have to run downstairs to the candy room and then slide it. We'll use a parchment paper probably, and just slide it onto the freeze dryer heated trays.
There you go.
But Red Hots work. Those little cinnamon discs
Right.
that you can get that old people usually give you.
Okay. Yeah.
Those work. They have to be heated in the oven. A little bit said she would try the Red Hots, and then Gunner said he'd be down for Red Hots too. So
Oh, yeah.
maybe in the next week or so we'll knock out some Red Hots and
Okay.
see how they are and kind of what some of these things, like they have mini Skittles that you can do, and they're fun size. The
Right.
problem is if I put them in my 4x6 bag, the cost is
Insane.
yeah, it's not economical for me to do that.
Right.
Or if I do it and try to get at least cost out of it, you'll be like, yeah, $11 for a bag of that. No,
Right.
I'm just not.
I like you, but hold that thought.
Yeah, I don't know if I need to do littler bags or if that's something that it's kind of like Selena and I talked about fruit. Fruit is going to be more expensive because
Right.
fruit's expensive. Our goal is to keep all the fruit. Now, I can't keep bananas local because nobody's growing local bananas in Roanoke.
Right.
But we're going to try to keep as much fruit as we can local, at least during the season that fruit's growing.
Right.
We'll get it from local farmers and things like that. I don't produce enough to do a big volume at my
Right.
house.
Right.
Um,
Not there yet.
Yeah. I don't know that I have the time for all of it, but so we'll buy from local farmers, but it's going to be more expensive. And so, we're looking at $8 to $10 a bag and so we talked about price, and I went to Kroger tonight to get something, and I looked at their freeze-dried fruit. Most of the time their freeze-dried fruit doesn't have much taste to it.
Right.
But the other thing of that is they're charging like $4.79 an ounce for the fruit. So
Right.
that puts me right where I thought we would be for the fruit, but our fruit will either be local or it'll at least have some good taste.
Right.
Because if your fruit doesn't have taste when you put it in the freeze dryer, it doesn't have taste when you pull it out either.
Right.
Also, like bananas, the more ripe they are, the better they taste. If I give some green bananas, and the green bananas, they're just not going to have the taste
That a ripe banana
Yeah.
will.
and so, yeah, just a lot. Gunner says just smaller, or a little bit said smaller bags. I agree with that. And that'll be something that, if it's easy, then great. But if I have to spend so many hours just doing one, I've got to look at my time too.
Yeah.
And Selena, I've talked about that a lot because I was doing the eyeballs, and she's like, that's a tie, but people are going to buy that because they're creepy.
Yeah, I mean, you probably won't sell a whole lot after November, but
Yeah, well, we're going to make enough.
It'll be a September and October seller.
Yeah, we'll make enough to go through there and hopefully sell out and move on.
And if you can do pumpkin spice eyeballs,
Can do pumpkin spice eyeballs, but we are working on some pumpkin spice marshmallows. Selena got them going and then dropped them in the floor. But we have pumpkin spice marshmallows, and they kind of have the crunch of a cereal marshmallow.
okay.
And so a lot of them will pop, like if you coat them. So you got to coat them, let them dry, coat them again. It's like a 3 or 4 coat thing, and let them dry, and then you put them in, and then they expand, and then they go back. And so when they expand, it cracks that coating, and then it goes back, and so it looks really cool.
Oh, wow.
And so we do have some fall flavors coming out with the marshmallows on that,
Okay.
and so it should be fun.
Yeah, we were doing some a little bit of research just because. Did you know that a marshmallow about this size,
Mm-hmm.
has fewer calories than 3 Reese's cups?
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah, I
That's
believe
just
it
insane.
without without a doubt. I watched this lady the other day, and she talked about people dieting, and she's like, you chose not to eat 2 slices of pizza for 800 calories, but then you turn around and ate a salad that had 1,500 calories in it.
Right.
You've got to look at those calories and things like that too, because
Right.
if you're just counting calories, then have that pizza over that salad with the 1,500 calories in
Right.
it.
Which is why I love and know it was an American that came up with the taco salad.
Oh yeah, I love
A
some taco
3,000 calorie salad with a bowl you can eat. Are you kidding me?
But how many people think that eating salad is the healthiest choice for you? And it's not always the healthiest choice. But I do love some salads.
Right.
I like meat too, though.
Right.
So
I love meat too much to give it up.
that's right. You got anything else?
Not that I can come up with.
Me either. But listen, if you liked it, I know there's only 2 people on here, 3, and most of those are relatives.
Right.
But hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, hit the bell. If you're looking to move here, reach out to us. Let's have a conversation about Roanoke. It's not for everybody.
It is not.
Yeah. And
But we are the number 2 hiking spot if you're a walker or a runner.
we got the kayak thing coming to Wasena area.
Yep.
So, I mean, there's a lot of outdoor stuff, and most of our festivals and all that
U.S.
stuff.
Olympic cycling team is going to put something up out here.
Yeah. So definitely a place to visit. If not, great place to live, I think.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
until next week, be safe
Make good choices.
and